everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2020 Ram 1500 Rebel finished in hydro blue. So as always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the truck, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. A huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the Rebel. Check out their inventory in the link below if you're in the market for a new truck. Let's get in the video. Now, under the hood of this particular truck, we have the naturally aspirated 5.7 liter Hemi that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, power outputs are 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 15 around town and then 21 on the highway. Now let's go over things on the front end of the Hydro Blue Rebel. Let's start with everything on the hood because I love this new hood decal. So obviously you can see it says Rebel there at the top, and then they kind of just do like the crazy line across with this whole graphic, and I just love it. It makes the truck look a whole lot sportier in my opinion, and I think it goes really well with all the venting that is at the top of the Rebel. Now coming down below, we do get the signature LED lights just like in every other Rebel, and then you do get the LED fog lights just down below that. All this stuff is completely unchanged. Still get the skid plates, still get the tow hooks, still get the parking sensors, all of that. Everything's normal except for the truck is blue. And again, I just love the look of that decal. I think it really pulls this whole truck together. Here's our key fob for the Rebel. You have a couple functions. You have your unlock function at the top. You've got the lock, remote start, and then the tailgate drop down. Obviously, we'll do the remote start so you guys can hear that 5.7 liter Hemi start up. Sounds good as ever. And then when you are done with all of that, you just have to press that again to shut it off. And then to open up the tailgate, you just have to press this function twice and that'll drop down the tailgate. Now this one doesn't have a bed liner, so you have a bright blue bed, which definitely an interesting thing on a truck. And then we can see this one does have the LED lights, which by the way, if you're gonna turn that on, you just have to press that little button right there, and then that'll turn on the LED light, and then you press it again and then it'll turn the light back off. This one does have the 5'7" bed because it is a crew cab Rebel. Now lifting up the tailgate, it is really light and easy to get into place, and I love the contrast in the back here with the black lettering to the blue exterior paint on the truck. I just think it looks absolutely fantastic. But we do get the same LED lights here, so you've got the little black part in the center and then the full LED wraparounds, bumpers. Everything's going to be just like any other Rebel. Still get the black exhaust tips on the bottom there, and then finally this one does have the kick step, so all you have to do is just kick that right out, pops out, and not sure why it's a little bit dirty, but regardless of that, pretty simple setup. And yeah, I just love that whole little thing. And here's one more look at the back of the Rebel. I just wanted to give you guys a quick side angle on the truck because I think with the two-tone there at the bottom of the truck and then the blue at the top, I just love that look. And then yes, we have the 18-inch rims with the 275mm tires just like any other Rebel, and well, there's a look at the tires so you guys can see just how aggressive those are. You still get the plastic fender flares in the front and the rear, but I just love this paint because it looks different from just different lighting angles. You notice that as I'm panning over it, it just kind of looks different, and there was a random seagull. So yeah, let's pop inside. Opening up the door here in the rear, here is our door panel for the back of the Rebel. So you get that same black trim here with the black leather, and then you get more black trim down here with the white contrasted stitching. Now here are the seats in this particular Rebel, and this is why I love this spec so much. So this one has the vinyl seats, so you have the little cloth inserts here which are very comfortable to sit on, just very soft in general with the texture. And then you can lift up the seats so you get extra storage underneath them, and then you get these little ice buckets on the side. But we are going to pop in for just a moment. So stepping in, well, it doesn't have side steps, so it's kind of rough, and well, we're gonna shut the door so we don't have to be in the wind anymore. And I love the sound when the door shuts. But I'm 5'11", and in terms of headspace, I've got more than enough, and legroom, I mean, you guys can see how far I'm stretched out. This one does not have the reclining seats on it, but I wouldn't make that a deal breaker for me personally. And then over here, we do have the little cup holder armrests set up, but another cool feature on this particular one, so yeah, cup holders, all that, but the thing I like, heated seats in the rear, and then we do get the power outlet in the back with the USBs, so this is pretty set up for what I'd like. And by the way, these are all the floor mats for the truck. Now here in the front, we do have the keyless entry, so one touch to lock it, and then to unlock it, just put your hand on the back of the door handle. This one does have the power folding mirrors, which again is another reason why I love this spec on this truck. Door panel here in the front is identical to what is in the rear. rear. This truck does have the memory seats, and then you can see all the controls for the windows, power folding mirrors, so press that and then that'll fold in the mirror for you. Here's the seats in the front, so notice that they're the same material as what's in the rear. It says Rebel there on the side. There's your power adjustments, and then the feel of them, again, especially the middle part. The middle part's really soft when you get the cloth insert vinyl seats with the Rebel. And then down below, here is our pedal layout at the very bottom. This one does have the power adjustable pedals. You get the parking brake, and then obviously all the light controls right over there, and then all the Rams have a manually adjustable steering wheel. But here's one more look before we pop inside the Hydro Blue Rebel. Now to start up this truck, foot on the brake, push the push start. It'll say Rebel in the center. Navigation's loading up, but everything will come to life. Now here's the steering wheel in this particular Rebel, and then zooming in, this is another reason why I like this one, how it's spec'd out. This one has the adaptive cruise control, and then yeah, you've got the manual shift that's on every single Rebel. White stitching with the kind of like perforated leather right here and the smoother leather on the top. That's just like any other Rebel. Voice commands, same thing, and then the controls for the center screen. Nothing's changed there. You do get the radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, and that's with every single Rebel. And then you got the turn signal, and then also the windshield wiper stock right there. Now here in the center, you've got the RPMs on the left side, and then on the right side, you've got the speed, and then front and center, you've got the information on the truck. Now, with all of the new trucks, nothing's really changed except this one, since it has all the safety tech. Notice that you can go through the different driving assistance. So basically it tells you if the adaptive cruise control is on, if the lane keep assist is on, all that kind of stuff. But just leave it to be a Speedo for now. Now this is the next part why I love how this Rebel's spec'd out. I'm not a huge fan of the 12-inch display. I like this 8.4-inch a little bit more, and this one obviously has the 8.4-inch. It has almost the same functionality as a 12-inch, it's just obviously a little bit smaller. But other than that, you can see the little backup camera that's with this, so obviously the graphics on it are really solid. You do have that little zoom function, and the lines will turn with the steering wheel on the camera system. And then other than that, touchscreen's really responsive if you actually press the buttons. If you're an idiot like me, you forget to press the buttons fully. But yeah, it's just a good infotainment system. And, well, heated seats and heated steering wheel on the Rebel. Sadly, no ventilated seats yet. Hopefully they change that in the future, though. And just down below, these are like all of your analog controls. And this is why I love the 8.4-inch screen, is you still get a bunch of analog controls. So you have your analog controls for the radio. That's for the lane departure assistance. Analog controls to turn on the heated seats and heated steering wheel, which is huge to me because I hate having to go into a touchscreen to turn these on or off. So the fact that I can just press a button right there instead of going to the touchscreen, really nice. It does have dual zone climate. And then coming down below here, we've got our controls to turn on or off the parking sensors, your tow haul mode, stability control, and then you got the trailer brake control. This is where a CD player was in the 2019s, but they got rid of it for the 2020s, sadly. We have a couple USBs in this little part, and that's everything for this part of the center stack, at least. Now here is the gear selector. It is a dial shifter. Can't change this. That's with all of the 1500s. You do have the different modes. So like if I want to go into 4-wheel high, for example, just have to press that and notice that, I mean, it happens pretty quickly. For the 4-wheel low, you do have to go into neutral, and then we do have an axle lock and hill descent control, which is going to help on the off-road with the Rebels. And then coming down into this whole area, we do have the center console, which it's got rubber down there. I wish they did felt like in the other trims, like the Laramie, for example, but we still get a USB, and I guess I'm gonna smush my backpack. But with the rest of the center console, measuring tables in the back, and then you have tons of storage down here. This slides back and forth, and this is the only setup you can get in a Rebel. You cannot get a seat here in the center. This one does have wireless charging, another reason why I love how this one is spec'd out. And then it does have a power outlet down here, which, I mean, that's in all of the trucks. Before we pop up top, here's the glove box, and nothing crazy about this. This is the same as any other Rebel, so it's not really going into the whole theme of the video where I'm going over why I love this particular truck, but still pretty solid. And again, you've got the stitching across the dash there. Up top, universal garage door opener, and then we do get our power sliding window for the rear. Now this one does not have a sunroof, but I am completely okay with that because I've been using my sunroof a lot less, and I feel like I don't need one anymore. So I think this is spec'd out pretty cool up top. And before I go over pricing, I just want to mention a couple things this truck is missing that I would like. It does not have blind spot monitoring, and it does not have the Alpine sound system. Other than that, it has pretty much everything that I would add to it, and that's why I think this truck is such a cool spec. I love the looks of it from the exterior. And of course, let's talk about the pricing. So this truck stickers for about $58,000, which with how expensive Rebels have gotten, that's actually kind of not quite on the lower end. I would put that like in the middle range for a Rebel. And yeah, with that all being said, let's take this Hydro Blue Rebel out and see if it drives any different with the unique color. Let me quickly show you guys visibility before we set off here in this Hydro Blue Ram 1500 Rebel. Visibility over the hood is the same as any other Ram, and I'll move the rain so you guys can see that. But the one thing I do notice is it's kind of hard to see the decal from the inside. All you notice is that that part of the hood just looks really dark, but you can't really see that it says Rebel from the inside at least. There's visibility through the side, and it's so cool to see a blue truck there in the mirror. There's your other side, and then there is all around, and again, it's pretty cool to see a blue bed. I think that's really the main part of this, is showing you guys how blue the truck is. But dial shifter, and let's set off. This video is actually more for me than anyone else, because I just want to be able to look back at my channel years from now and be like, remember that time that I got to drive a bright blue Ram Rebel? And that is the silliest thing ever, I understand, but I just love crazy colors like this. And after I talk about the driving impressions on this truck quickly, I just want to explain why I think that this truck is so important, believe it or not, and why trucks like this are so important. But obviously driving down that initial lane, just like any other Ram, really smooth, really quiet. And taking a turn here, the thing that I forgot about the Rams is how direct the steering is. These trucks, it's really easy to maneuver with them, but the steering is really direct, like for a truck at least. It's not sports car direct, but for a large truck like this it almost darts around in a way, is the best way for me to put it. And I think it's a very interesting thing for a truck, but it makes a driving experience better in my opinion, because the worst thing about trucks is just they're big, right? And once you take away that kind of like big feeling of a truck, it makes the driving experience so much better. And that's one of the reasons why I love the Rams. Now we're gonna get kind of two accelerations here. This is gonna be like our mild, like half throttle acceleration, just to see how it kind of like gets up and goes. And so not going full throttle, just going like partial throttle, tons of torque, and it's great. Like it just gets up and goes. And this one, remember, does not have the e-torque. This is just a regular Hemi, and the regular Hemi still feels really strong with the Rams. Well, y'all knew it was coming. We got to get a real acceleration here. Oh, I missed the sound of a naturally aspirated V8. It sounds good, it's quick, and I mean, I'm at about 4,500 feet elevation here in Utah, and yeah, it gets up and goes. It's more than adequate. There are no issues at all with power, so yes, that is not a concern. And as you guys can see in front of me, we're about to hit a little bit of traffic, and that's actually going to be good, because it'll give me some time to talk about why I think this truck is so important. Now, the reason I think that trucks like this are so important is it kind of gives manufacturers a little bit, I guess, more play with being a little bit more creative, right? Making a bright blue truck is something that's fun and creative, in my opinion. It's not the normal boring black or white or gray, right? It's a completely unique color, and I love it when manufacturers do stuff like this, because then it kind of makes the brand a little bit more exciting. The sad thing is not a lot of people are gonna buy trucks like this. I mean, you guys can see I'm pulling onto the lot right here, and just notice the colors that you're seeing with the trucks, right? Again, there are some, right? There's a red one back there, there is a blue, but most of it, right? White. There's another blue. I'm kind of, my point is getting ruined here. But you can see there's way more white trucks, way more black trucks than there are trucks like this that are bright blue, right? And I think that that's something that car manufacturers are kind of missing out on, because I'm noticing that a lot of car manufacturers are getting rid of a lot of these crazy colors. Some of them, like Ram, are being really smart in my opinion, and they're ramping up stuff like this crazy color, and I think that's just really important, because it just differentiates the brand. It makes it more exciting, and for people like me, I love stuff like this, and I'm more likely to purchase this truck, right, because it's bright blue. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, looking at like a gray truck or a black truck or a white truck, it looks cool, especially that lifted one right there. Let's see if we, I don't know if that's in view for you guys. Hopefully that's in view, but that lifted one right there, right? That stuff still looks cool, but it's just, it's not the same. And so Dodge, if you're watching this, keep it up. And other truck manufacturers, if you're watching this, start doing crazy colors. It's fun, it's exciting, and if you don't, then I guess that's not bad either, because then more people are gonna wrap their vehicles. That's all. Now, that is gonna sum things up for our video on this 2020 Hydro Blue Rebel. Again, I love the color, I love the whole look on this truck. But regardless of that, again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the Rebel. If you're in the market for a new truck, check out the inventory in the link below. If you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe. I will see all of you in that next video.